This is your beloved Minister Austin Smith with ZMR Radio on the Wake Up Call. Wake up. Wake up. It's high time. All right. We do always rise, giving all the kabod and the kabah, which is the glory and the honor to the Most High Yah, through his being Yahusha Mashyach, which is his son, our Savior and our Redeemer. I do appreciate you all setting aside a little bit of time to allow me to bring forth the word to you. I'm sure for a lot of some of you out there, you'd rather hear it from preacher. Maybe me too, but I'm the one you got. Y'all will not won't be before you long. Give me Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Listen to the book.
For whatever Nikatab before.
For whatever was Nikatab, whatever was Nikatab before, those are the things that were written before time.
Nikatab to Lamadus.
Were written to Lamadus, were written to teach us. So it's telling us the purpose of why we have the writings.
So that through endurance and through the Nakuma of the Ketubim, we might have Tikva.
So that way, through the things that were written before and us taking on the understanding of what it was telling us, we might be able to take on a sense of hope. Is how they get it in English. But that tikva is a chord. That's a connection. We get a connection to the word based off of the things that were written before once we come into the understanding of it. Ironically enough, I had a gentleman call me the other day, and he was saying he wanted to kind of argue. He was like, he didn't believe the Old Testament. He didn't believe that Yahushua was necessary. So everything beyond that, he disputed all that. So he was calling, and I'm trying. Mind you, I was at a dead sleep. So like I woke up to this phone call. I'm like, okay, let me call him right back. So from a dead sleep, I'm like, okay, so now we're talking, we're going. He's like, yeah, I don't believe this. I'm like, okay, all right. So I try to give him a couple of things. But it's just one of the things where it really gave me a chance, an opportunity to see that the only way you're going to see it is if he allows you to see it. It doesn't matter how plainly it's given it to you. If he's giving you the spirit, if he allowed a delusion to come upon you, you're going to stay in that delusion. You yourself, it's nothing that you could do to deliver yourself. Matter of fact, get me, what's that, Ephesians 5 and 8? It's nothing that you can do to deliver yourself when you look at the sense of it has to be given to you by the Father. And if you truly believe that he is the Father, then you got to believe what? That he's got a son. But anyway, nonetheless, let's see what Ephesians 5 and 8 says.
Sir.
Listen to the book.
For you were formerly Kashak, but now you are Aur in our Adon. Halak es benim of Aur. For the pari of the Aur is all acts of kindness and righteousness and amat.
So there's a certain behavior that comes upon us taking on a certain level of knowledge. So the reason why you don't have the proper behavior is because you're insufficient in your knowledge. Nonetheless, last night preacher was preaching. You want to hear what preacher was preaching? I'll tell you about it. He was showing us in the book of Beth Dabri Hayamim, chapter 12, and we were talking about that sure raham, that sure mercy of Dawood. I think he mentioned in Yasharal 55 and 8. Matter of fact, yeah, go ahead and give me that. Give me that Yasharal chapter 55 and verse 8. A lot of people, they'll talk about that sure raham of Dawood, that sure mercy that Dawood got, but they don't realize that what did he do after he obtained that mercy? A lot of people, they look at it and they say, well, we're not under law, we're under grace. But the thing is, that's why the word told you, shall we continue in sin that con may abound? So if the thing is, if he's giving me mercy, if he's showing me compassion, if he's showing me a leniency, why would I continue to see, well, let me see how far to stretch? It's only going to be so much rope he's going to give me before he say either one or two things. Either one, you're going to hang yourself with this cord, or two, I'm going to cut the cord and detach myself from you. But nonetheless, go ahead and give me that Yasharal 55. Listen to the book.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
My thoughts are not your thoughts.
Nor are your darakim my darakim.
Nor are your ways my ways. So that right there, he's telling us that there's a difference between you and I. So when we look back at what he told us in Romans 15 and 4, the things that were written, the things that he gave us through the writings, that was all to give us a level of understanding and knowledge that we can become like him. Through the information that he gives us, it gives us an opportunity to pattern ourselves after the Father. So the thing is when he's writing it down, he's telling us how Yahusha reacted to situations, how Yahusha endured tribulation. That's giving me a sense of being able to take on the same mind because I now have the writings that instruct me on what he did when those situations happen. Come on.
Declares Yahuah. For as the Shamayim are higher than the Arats.
Just like the Shamayim, which are the expansions, the things that are far above us are from the earth, the ground.
so are my Darakim higher than your Darakim.
So he's telling you right now that there's such a great gulf between you and I. So the thing is, if I tell you that there's a gulf between you and I, which is the separation, what then do I need? I need something to come in to bridge the gap between you and I. So the thing is if there was no Yahusha, then what would we have been given in order to bridge that gap and connect us back to the true creator? What is the cord that we would have to give us an attachment to him? We would fall away because there's no way I can get to you. If he tells me, he say, Austin, this is what I want you to understand. You're on the earth, but in order for you to be with me, you're going to have to get all the way up here. How am I going to get there? I can't fly. Ain't a ladder I can build. In Bereshit chapter 11, in the Tower of Babel, they went to try to build a tower to where? To Shamayim, so that way they could get a name. So the thing is now, this is the thing. He's given us our true access and our true entryway through Yahusha, and we have his name. So the thing is, I had another call. A gentleman, he asked me, he said, well, this is the thing. If you have the name Yahusha, you know, we can say this is Abary name, but what if I just call him by Jesus? But I know the intent behind who it is I'm calling. I know what it is I mean when I'm calling. Okay, well, this is the thing. What's your name? Yahuah. Your name is Yahuah. So if I keep saying Tim, he's not going to answer because that's not his name. So I might say, well, yeah, your name may be Yahuah, but when I'm saying Tim, to me, that's the same as Yahuah. But the thing is that he never told us that. He never told us, hey, when you call me by Yahusha, matter of fact, you can call me by whatever name you want to call me, and I'm going to still answer. Why would he answer? What are you doing to make him to turn and to hear your call?
Right.
Go ahead.
And my thoughts than your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Your thoughts are different than mine.
For as the rain and the snow come down from the Shamayim, and do not turn there without watering the arats and making it bear and sprout.
Where did the rain come from?
Down from the Shamayim.
The rain came down from Shamayim. So he's telling us, I've given something to the arats. So that way it can do what when the rain came?
And do not turn there without watering the arats and making it bear and sprout.
So when the water is coming down from Shamayim, guess what it's allowing the arats to do? It's allowing it to bring forth life and vegetation. So that's the same similitude of what we have when he allows the word to come down to you. Because the word is coming from Yahuah. All scripture is given by the inspiration of Elohim, and it's profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, instruction in Sadiq, which is righteousness, that the man of Elohim may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. So the thing is I'm trying to make a perfect man that can bring forth vegetation and life. That's going to be through the word, which is the similitude, just like the rain. Come on.
And furnishing seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So shall my debar be which goes forth from my paw. It shall not return to me empty.
I told you, he told you first. The book said it. The book said it. Come on.
But it shall accomplish that which I desire, and it shall prosper in the matter for which I shall lock it.
So the thing is, let's look at this. Two things that water can do. Water can bring forth life, but water can also bring forth death. Through the Mayim coming, guess what? Before he made Adam from the ground, he caused the Mayim to come up and water the ground. So the first thing that happened before man came on to take on life was he allowed the ground to be watered. And then from that, a man was born, a man was created. So the same thing happens with plants. I water the ground, now the plants can take on life. But when the man began to take on a wicked lifestyle and things that are contrary to the Most High, guess what he allowed to do? The very thing that I once used to give life, I use that same thing for destruction. So the thing is, that's the two things that happen with the word. When I'm living according to the word, it's giving me things that are conducive to life. But once I can live a contrary life, that very thing that could have saved me become my destruction. Come on.
For you shall go out with Shusha and be led forth with Shalom. The harem and the hills shall break forth into singing before you, and all the ots of the field shall clap their hands. Instead of the thorn bush, the cypress shall come up, and instead of the nettle, the myrrh shall come up, and it shall be to Yahuah for a shem, for an alam ots, which shall not be cut off. It's the last verse.
What's that? Well, I started at 15 and 8. What I started at verse 8?
Yes, sir.
Go verse 6, I think.
Yes, sir. Seek Yahuah while he may be found. Car up on him while he is near. Let the Rosha forsake his Darak, And the
So that's the thing. He's telling you what? That there's a temporary time. I'm not going to be with you forever. You're not going to have this everlasting time where you can take your time and be Cadillacing with how you try to achieve salvation. I'm only there for a limited time. You better seek me while I'm near. Because you only got a little bit of time. That's the thing. We keep taking it to the sense of, well, I got time to get right. I got time because you're still alive. But guess what? You may still have breath, but is he going to hearken to your call? Because it's like he told you further down about how he was in Shamim, you were from the rocks. The thing is, your iniquities are the things that further create a separation between you and your Elohim. So when you cry, he won't hear you. Come on.
let the Rosha forsake his Darach.
Let the wicked man forsake his Darach. That's
And
the thing. That's what I'm telling you right now. Everybody that's hearing the word, whether you're in this room, whether you're watching it now, whenever you watch it, the word already been written. This is what's Nikatah before time. Let the wicked man forsake his Darakim. Let the wicked man forsake his ways, turn from your ways, turn from your desires, and do that which is pleasing in the sight of the Most High Yah. Come on.
And the unrighteous Ish his thoughts. And let him return to Yahuah, and he shall have compassion on him.
He's going to give us a level of compassion. That's the whole point. That's the whole thing that we're trying to get. Because the thing is from the beginning, man has gone contrary to what Yahuah has told him. Man has deviated from that proper course of behavior that they had been given through the word. Get me Allah Hadabarim. No, matter of fact, give me Beth Dabari Hayamim, chapter 12 and verse 1. Man has deviated, but through the word we can return back. Come, let us return to Yahuah. Yeah.
Did you want what he had last night?
Yes, sir. It should be Beth.
Shamuel.
Oh, excuse me. Beth Shamuel, chapter 12 and verse 1. No man is nothing by himself. That's why we got teamwork. Teamwork make the dream work. Listen to the book.
Then Yahuah shalak Nathan to Daud, and he came to him and said to him, there were two unashamed in one city.
There were two men in one city.
The one rich and the other poor.
One was rich and one was poor.
The rich Ish had a great many flocks and herds, but the poor Ish had nothing except one little ewe lamb, which he bought and nourished, and it grew up together with him in his benim. It did eat of his lakam and drink of his cup, and lie in his bosom, and was like a bath to him.
And just like a daughter to him, he had such a great love and such a great affection and a connection to that ewe lamb.
Now a traveler came to the rich Ish, and he spared, to take from his own flock.
He didn't want to take from his own.
Or from his own herd, to prepare for the wayfarer who had come to him. But he took the poor Ish ewe lamb and prepared it for the Ish who had come to him. Then Daud's anger burned greatly against the Ish, and he said to Nathan, as Yahuah Kai, surely the Ish who has done this is a ben of moot. He shall repay fourfold for the lamb, because he did this thing, and for that he had no compassion. Nathan then said to Daud, you are the Ish. Thus says Yahuah, the all of Yasharal, it is I who Mashyach you Malak over Yasharal.
So that you know what the thing is a lot of times what happened is it's hard for us if I just come to you and I just tell you where you're wrong. So sometimes what happened is I got to give you an example, and through that example you're able to separate yourself and just be able to look at the situation. So though Daud was the man he was talking about, if he removes his personal feelings, my personal wanting to try to escape and move myself from being condemned, try to escape the sword, I'm able to look at the situation and say, nah, that ain't right. That ain't right. That man should die. I don't know how a man would do that. But then he told him, he said, you the man. The thing is Daud was what? He was the Malak, so he was the one that could execute judgment. He by the speaking of his mouth, guess what was in his mouth? The power of life and death was in his mouth because he was the Malak. He was the emperor. He was the one that had control. So he could have easily said, if he told you to be killed or commanded somebody to kill you, you were just as good as dead. And the thing is, what could you have said? Could you have said, nah, have mercy on me? No, because the Malak had already made a commandment. So when the Malak said it, just like we talked before with Pharaoh, once the emperor, the ruler had said something, that's just as good as law. So by the law of Daud's mouth, guess what would happen when he said to kill that man? You were dead. So by the law, we were dead. Come on.
And it is I who delivered you from the hand of Shaul.
You know, Even the very things that you have, you didn't even get that on your own. The thing is we look at Dawood as a skilled fighter. Guess what? That's the same man that came forth to kill Goliath. So the thing is to us, it created a sense of fear with Dawood, because Dawood was a killer. But the thing is Yahuah told him, that stuff you're doing, I gave it to you. Right. You didn't do that stuff on your own. So the things that we think that we acquire and that we accomplished on our own, it's not by our hands. The man has shown mercy unto us, but we're so blinded by thinking it's just us. It's me, and you forget, no, it's me. So guess what happened when you deviate from me? You lose that power. Now you start to find yourself being overtaken by things and situations because you've left from me. I'm the one that gave you your power. Come on.
I gave you your Adon bed.
I gave you your master's house.
And your Adon Nashim into your bosom.
I gave you your master's wife to lay on your chest.
And I gave you the bed of Yasharal and Yehuda.
And I gave you these people.
And if that had been too little, I would have added to you more of such and such things.
If that had been too little, I would have gave you more of such and such things. Who that make you kind of think of? I tell you, we'll save time. We don't have the time. I'll tell you who that made me think of. Adam. You know why? He had gave him what? He had gave him a garden. What did Adam do to obtain that garden? Nothing. He didn't do anything. If you read back into the book of Abary, you'll see that he formed man out of the garden, but then what did he do? Put him into the garden. Right. Before man was even created, he had already created the vegetation. Yep. He had already created the things that were in the expansion with the Shamayim. He had already separated the waters from the land. And then guess what he did? He gave it to Adam. Right. But guess what happened? The appetite of a man is never filled. Though I had all these things, even the tree, the ox of life, the ox of Kai, I could have eaten and maintained life. Right. I was only told not to eat one. But guess what? All the other stuff that you gave me, really, if I really valued that, I wouldn't have went after the other thing. That's so right. The thing is, the reason why we go after the things that he told us not to eat is because we don't take into value the things that he actually freely gave us. Come on.
Why have you despised the bar of Yahuah by doing Rosha?
Why have you despised the bar of Yahuah to do Rosha? So the thing is guess what happened with Adam? They had despised the thing that Yahuah had gave him and going to do Rosha. Just like if you look at it in the 3rd chapter of the book of Abary, guess what Yahuah told you? She told you that the tree was one desirable, one pleasant to the eye, one for food, and one that made one wise. So the thing is I now have to despise one in order to take on the other. That's why he told you no man can serve. Right. Leave with me. No man can serve two masters because you're going to love one and you're going to hate the other. So that's the thing when Yahuah comes in and gives you a mark. He comes in and gives you a commandment. He comes to give you instructions. In order for me to deviate from what it is that he told me, that's because I not to put myself in the matter of I despise that because I want something else.
That's right.
Come on. That's why he told you. That's why he told you about how the Elohim of this world, how he blinded the minds of them. The thing is because we get blinded by the things that we want. Just like if you look at, matter of fact, since we were there and we were talking about Adam and Ka'ur with the tree, guess how this whole thing started with Dawood? Through looking. He looked down and he saw that woman, said, she fine. She fine, I want to make her mine. And next thing you know, he was... Anyway, the thing is, so that's the thing. We can't allow our eyes to allow us to start lusting for the things that are contrary. Because the thing is I wouldn't dispute the fact that she was fine. She had to look like something. Because the thing is, if I got all these wives, just like he told me, he said, I gave you your master's wives. So he had all these women's, and he said, I want that one. What did she have to look like? She had to, y'all see it? Y'all see your right wife? She fine. And that's the thing. That's the same thing that happens when we start lusting for the things of the world. We got all these things that Yahuah has freely gave us, but you see sin, she fine. So we start to go after it, and guess what happened? When we go and we commit ourselves and we commit relationships with sin, it brings forth death. That's why I told you that when lust is conceived, it brings forth death. So once we see these things that bring forth, see these sins that we're desiring, and we go and we attach ourselves to it, we sleep with it, we make love to these things, I'm attached to it, it's going to lead you into death. Come on. But let's see how we can take on life.
Why have you despised the bar of Yahuah by doing Rosha in his own?
Why have you despised what I gave you to do wrong in my eyes?
You have struck down Uriah the Hittite with the sword, have taken his Ashah to yourself for a Ashah, and have murdered him with the sword of the Beni of Ammon. Now therefore, the sword shall not depart from your Beth alone, because you have despised me and have taken the Ashah of Uriah the Hittite to you to be for a Ashah.
And the same thing happened with Adam. Guess what? In the day that you eat thereof, guess what's going to happen? You're going to surely die. So guess what happened? Just like you told you in the, the 15th chapter of the book of 1 Corinthians, how that first man took on death and through him all men died. Just like you told Daoud, guess what? The sword ain't going to never depart from your house. Guess where all men came from? They all came from Adam. Everybody stemmed from him. So the thing is we now have obtained death through that lineage. So now we have to take on another lineage that can help us take on life. Come on.
Thus says Yahuah, behold, I shall come up Rosha against you from your own bed. I shall take your Nashim before your and give them to your companion. And he shall lie with your Nashim in the of this Shamash. For you did it secretly, but I shall do this thing before all Yasharal and under the Shamash. Then Daoud said to Nathan, I have kata against Yahuah. And Nathan said to Daoud, you also have taken away your kata. Yahuah also has taken away your kata.
Yahuah has taken away your kata.
You shall not move.
You shall not move. So the thing is guess what happened? By his works, he should have been died. He should have died based off the work he committed. But through Yahuah, he's given him Khan. Come on.
All right. However, because this deed you have caused the enemies of Yahuah to blaspheme.
He said, by this what?
By this deed you have caused the enemies.
By your Khan.
By this deed you have caused the enemies of Yahuah to blaspheme.
Guess what? Guess why he told you that it's not by your work, it's by his Khan. Because by your works, you've committed sin. So the thing is, if I look at your works, how can you achieve salvation? Just like with Adam, that very first time that he turned away from what Yahuah told him, guess what? Death was instituted, and he never received Khan to be able to obtain life again. But guess what? Through Daoud, through Daoud, his works should have very well given him moot.
That's right.
Because he had caused Yahuah's name to be blasphemed among the Goyim. That's the same thing that happens when people go out and they see us to sin. Right. We have given the adversary occasion to speak reproachfully against Yahuah. So that in itself should allow us to be deserving of what? Be deserving of moot. But guess what? Yahuah saw fit to give Daoud Khan. And so he was able to maintain life. But how did he get it? Come on.
The being also that is born to you shall surely moot.
So Daoud, he wasn't going to move, but the son that was given, he was the one that was going to take on the death.
That's right.
Okay, so guess what happened if we didn't have Yahusha? We would have died. We would have died. Now you look and you say, well, how did that work? Because he doesn't. If you go back and you look at his lineage, guess where it's going to tie him back to? He's going to be the Ben of Daoud. Guess what they called? They called him the Ben of Daoud. Right. You know why? Because he was trying to let you know, yeah, you're exactly right. I'm the Ben of Daoud. I'm the one that's going to take on the death that you were deserving of.
That's right.
And the thing is what happened to a lot of people, even if you look at what did Cuff say? When Yahusha began to tell him about the moot that was going to happen. He said, no, far be it from you. Far be it from you. Matter of fact, let's see what happened. Go ahead, keep reading, Lee.
So
that's what, hold on a second. That's the, what I just talked about was that the 15th chapter of the book of Matthew. I think it should be the 15th chapter of the book of Matthew for those who don't know. That way you can go back and check. Come on.
So Nathan went to his bed. Then Yahuah struck the Yalet that Uriah Ashah bore to Daoud, so that he was very ill.
He struck the bench, so he was very ill.
Daoud therefore inquired of Elohim for the Yalet. And Daoud kept a fast.
He did what? He inquired of who?
Of Elohim.
He inquired of Elohim. Why would he inquire of Elohim? Because I knew where the source of my affliction. Because I know the one that's afflicting me and that's causing me to, I know the one that's punishing me. So the thing is, if I know my punisher, I know who I need to seek to receive Raham and Raham. Right. Come on.
And Daoud kept a fast and went and lay all Layla on the Adumah. The Zakanim of his...
Daoud did what?
Daoud kept a fast and went and lay all Layla on the Adumah.
He kept the fast and went and lay all night upon the ground.
The Zakanim of his bed arose toward him to coom him up from the Arats, but he was not willing and would not eat lakam with them. Then it happened on the 7th Yom that the Yalet moot, and the Abadim of Daoud were afraid to tell him that the Yalet was moot.
What was it that happened, Lee? On that Yom?
On the 7th Yom that the Yalet moot.
On that 7th Yom, the Yalet moot. But guess what was Daoud palalim for? What was he fasting for? So that way Yahuah can make it where it wouldn't be. Not so, Yahuah. Not so. Don't let the lad move. I'm prolonging to keep the lad alive. The same thing happened with Cup. He said, Yahuah told him the things he was going to have to suffer, how he was going to have to die and be raised again. He said, not so, Elohim. And the thing is, that's why the Kitabim will tell you, he said, you don't know what to pray for as you ought to.
That's
But
right.
the Ruach got to make intercession for you. Guess what would have happened? Guess how Daoud could have allowed the Ben to stay alive? He'd have had to die. So the thing is, guess what would have happened if Yahusha wouldn't have died? We'd have had to die. Yeah. So the thing is that's the whole purpose of why he gave us a son. If you read in the book of Yasharal, chapter 9 and verse 6, it says, unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given. So he's telling us that I've given you a son now. You are the people who committed sin, but I gave you a son. And guess what I'm going to do with your son?
Kill him.
I'm going to have to kill him for what? For you, so that way you can take on life. So the thing is if I argue the concept of him sending me a son, but Yahuah sending a son for us, how are we going to get back to him? How are we going to be reconciled back to the Father except through his son? Come on. The thing is a lot of times people, what we have with the word is what the word gives us the opportunity to see is how natural situations come back to give us understanding of spiritual concepts. A lot of things that they had before, guess what? When he told them about the olive, they were able to understand that. The olive, that's one of our olive beds. That's the olive. The olive represents the bakar, which is the ox, excuse me, I'm sorry. It's so much when you got the Abary, it's just, trying to make sure I give you the right word to go with the right thing. So that when they put it up on the thing, you don't be like, oh man, that ain't it. But anyway, what you look at when you got the olive, it represents his power, his strength, his durability. So that way, when I come back and I say that he is my Elohim, and I look back at, okay, well, where that's going to come from? The olive, I know that he's my strength, that he can be able to be versatile in all these situations. He can feed me, help me, nourish me through treading out the field. He can be killed and I can put him on to take on his skin. So all these things we'd be able to understand spiritual concepts from natural situations and natural occurrences. So the same thing that we have when the word came, all of these things that happen naturally or sent to give us a spiritual idea of what it was that Yahusha came through to fulfill. So the thing, it's just like with the Nabaim, everything that they're saying, they spoke things, right? They all spoke things. And to them, it might look at one way, okay, this was fulfilled in this situation. But realistically, Yahushua was able to come back and Oriyah 24:44, he opened their understanding. You know why? Because you may have thought that you understood these things, but I'm going to show you how they really worked. When you thought that, when he told you that that child was born, that son was going to be given, that's really talking about me. Because when Yahushua expounded the scripture, he expounded what? All the things concerning himself, because that's the thing that's going to lead to salvation. So the thing is you might take in your mind, you might say, well, no, I understand that based off of this. No, because guess what? It was all talking about one man. So without that one man, you could never come into the understanding of what he was trying to tell you. That's why, what's the Ephesians 5:30? Let's see how we can take a natural occurrence and turn it spiritual. Listen to the book.
Because we are members of his basar, and of his bones. For this reason, and each shall leave his Abba and his aim, and shall be joined to his Ashab.
That's not I want. What is it? By Connie you save and not by works. That should be 5th chapter in the book of Ephesians, right?
2:8.
2:8. Listen to the book. Appreciate that, Jahi. Once again, teamwork. Made the dream work. Listen to the book.
For by Kassid you have been saved.
Matter of fact, make it 2 and 5.
Yes, sir.
Let's see how we got there.
Even when we were mute in our transgressions, has made us alive with the Mashyach by Kassid. You have been saved.
Make it 2 and 4.
Yes, sir. But Elohim being complete in Rakam, because of his great Ahava,
because Elohim was filled with Raham. Just like with Daoud, we just discussed that he was deserving of death. But guess what? Because Yahuah had Raham, which is mercy, what did he give him?
Because of his great Ahaba, with which he Ahaba us.
So we obtain mercy based off of what? Based off the Ahaba that he has for us, based off of the love and the connection that he has for us. Just like we talked about it before in the Yochanan chapter 3:16, what they call the book of St. John, he told you, for Elohim so loved the Eras, that he gave his only begotten son. So the thing is, through that love, he's given me an access. He's given me a cord. He's given me a connection that I can use to get back to him because of that love that he gave to me. So let's see. the thing is, well, you know what? Matter of fact, you know what he told you? The physical fulfillment of that ahab that he had for us, the physical fulfillment of that raham, that grace and that mercy that he had for us. Guess what that was? That was Yahusha. We now have a physical concept, a physical being that we can look at, and he can say, "Guess how much I love you? That much. Guess how much grace and mercy I got for you? That much. My son, my son. That's how much I love you. Come on."
Even when we were moot in our Pisha, has made us Kai with the Mashyach.
Even when we were moot by our sins, the thing is, we schemed. Even when you look at with Daud, guess what happened? Not only did he take Uriah's wife, but he schemed. He set up a plan so that way Uriah could die. So that way he could die in the battle. So the thing is, a lot of stuff that we do when we commit sin, we plan, we scheme for these sins. We come with ways, how can I do this? How can I do the things that I want to do? We create situations to allow us to be able to fulfill the lust and desires of our flesh. Come on.
Has made us Kai with the Mashyach by Kasid, you have been saved.
By the what?
Kasid, you have been saved.
By the Kasid, we have been saved. But how do we attain that salvation? Through the Son.
Yeah.
Through the Son. The physical fulfillment of the Kasid. Come on.
And kum us up with him, even seated us with him in the Shamayim Malkum in the Mashyach Yahushua.
He sent the Son to raise us up from our state. And the kid that tells you, by grace are you saved and not by works. You know why? Because guess what? Daud's works led him to what? Led him to death and led him to sin. Then what did he do? What was some more works that he did? He tried to pray away the very thing that was going to get him conceived, the very thing that was going to get him grace and mercy. So the thing is, if it was by your works, why would it be by your works? You don't even know what I'm trying to do. You don't even know what it is that I've set up to attack to get you back to me. You don't know the things that I've put in place to reconcile you to me. Just like we talked about with Cup a couple of times now, he was trying to stop it. You know why? Because he didn't understand this is the whole way I'm going to reconcile you back to me. Yeah. If I allow you to stop the death of this son, you're going to die. You can't get back to the Father but through the Son. That's why to think that, oh no, we got Yahuah. The man told me, he said, why would it be Yahusha? Yahuah wanted us to only worship him. Guess what? That was his son. That was the one he sent. I sent him to reconcile you to me. So the whole thing is guess what happened? You had me at first, but guess what happened when you had me? You didn't desire me. You started to lust after and to desire other things, just like what they had in the gun. They had him. They had access. He kept coming. He kept coming down. Okay, I've given you all these things. He had given them a freedom, gave them liberty. He gave them life. Be fruitful and multiply. You over all this stuff. All these things of the gun, you over it. But guess what happened? You desire something else, so you lost your desire for me. So now I've sent my son to do what? To reconcile you to me, because a lot of times we know what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Guess how far absent we are from him? Just like the Shamayim is from the rocks. As far as the Shamayim is from the rocks, that's how far we are away from each other. Now, looking at how far we are away, guess what make me want to say? I want to be back where you are. I'm desiring you now. Come on.
That he might show in the coming ages the surpassing riches of his Kasid.
You know how rich that is? There's nothing that you can do. You can work. You can work hard. You can work hard. You can even scheme and scam, flim-flam, all that stuff. You can obtain riches. Those are all about works. But guess what? The richness of this Raham, the richness of Yahuwah's mercy and his grace to a person that should have been cut off, there's nothing that you could do to obtain that mercy. What can you do to obtain those riches? Nothing. All your works is filthy rags. You know why? Because your stuff is sin. The things you desire after are things that bring forth death. But guess what? He's given us mercy now. He's given us Raham. He's given us Khan. But guess what? The thing is even with that, us obtaining that, it's nothing that we did to be able to get to Ben. You know how I can prove that out? Matthew 1:20. You know what else a lot of people argue? What else they'll argue? They'll say, well, how did he come in by a virgin woman? You know what they know they do? They argue the conception of Yahusha because they say, well, she couldn't have been a virgin because she had to sleep with him. How should she get pregnant? But let's see how that works. Come on, Matthew chapter 1 and verse 20.
Yes, sir.
Listen to the book.
He was thinking this way, but behold, a Malachie of Yahuwah.
Matter of fact, give me 18.
Sir.
Listen.
This was the manner of the birth of Yahushua the HaMashiach.
This is the manner of the birth. We went through and we just read in the 12th chapter. We just read through the manner of Dawood's band. We read the manner of his birth. How did he get there? Through sin.
Yep.
He got there through sin. That's how we got Dawood's sin. But Dawood's son. But let's see how we got this one.
Marim, his aim, was betrothed to Yosef, but before he came to her, she was found pregnant from Ruach HaKadosh.
After he came to her.
Before he came to her, she was found pregnant from Ruach HaKadosh.
Okay.
Now Yosef, her husband, was a Sadiq Ish, and did not want to subject her to disgrace. So he said, I shall shalak her away privately. He was thinking this way, but behold, a Malaki of Yahuah appeared to him in a kalamut, saying, Yosef, ben of Daoud, do not be afraid to take Marim, your Ashah, for what has been formed within her is from the Ruach HaKadosh.
Guess what Yosef would have known? He would have known that I didn't sleep with her to do it. So I know it wasn't for me. So if she's pregnant, somewhere else got to have something else, or something or somebody else had to allow her to come into this condition. Let's see what did Malaki tell him again?
But behold, a Malaki of Yahuah appeared to him in a column, saying,
A messenger came and told him something.
Yosef, ben of Daoud, do not be afraid to take Marim, your
Yosef
Ashah.
ben of who?
Ben of Daoud, do not be afraid to take Marim, your Ashah,
Don't be afraid to take her.
for what has been formed within her
Is what?
from the Ruach HaKadosh.
It's from the Ruach HaKadosh.
And she is giving birth to a Ben, and you shall call his Shem Yahushua, for he shall save his arm from their kataim.
Where I stopped you at, Aki Chris? At that second chapter.
Ephesians 2:7.
2 and 7. Go ahead, read that again for me.
That he might show in the coming ages the surpassing riches of his kind.
Go back to 2 and 5.
Yes, sir.
Let me show you how it works. Let me go back and put a head on it for you.
Even when we were mute in our Pisha, has made us Kai with the Mashyach. By Khan, you have been saved.
By what?
Khan, you have been saved.
By what?
And raised us up with him, even seated us with him in the Shamayim places in the Mashyach Yahushua.
Let me see. Anybody know how that worked? Guess what would have happened? Had Yahusha been formed from that man and that woman naturally coming together, guess how our salvation would have came? By works. It would have came by works. Had the woman slept with the man, then there's no way that we could say that by grace are we saved. By his Khan are we saved, and not by works.
Right.
So that's why he told you, go ahead, Lee, get me that 1 and 21 once again for me.
Yes, sir.
Tell him what's his name?
And she is giving birth to a Ben, and you shall call her his Shem Yahushua,
Why?
for he shall save his arm.
He shall do what?
He shall save his arm.
He gonna do what?
He shall save his arm
So we're gonna attain salvation through him.
from his kataim, from their kataim.
From their kataim. So guess what that raham that we got, guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna allow us to take on life. But the thing is that's why he had to come through by a virgin woman without the aid of a man, because we would have never, because you know what happened? If we'd have had the man and the woman come together to allow Yahusha to be created, our salvation would have came through by our works. That's the whole reason why everything come together. Once again, he has given us a natural situation to be able to understand spiritual or ruachni concepts. But the thing is, if we don't understand the natural, we can't never get to the spiritual.
Right.
Okay? So the thing is that's why when we look at it, he's given us a gift. That's why, what was the book that you read that in? Mashyach, the gift of Yahuah. And that gift is, he's telling us this exactly what that gift was. That gift was salvation. Because guess what? Through our sins, through us no longer desiring Yahuah, but desiring the things of the world, the things that could appease the flesh, we took on death. But through Yahusha, through the Son, through that Son taking on death, we can be reconciled back through the Father. And what did you say that was again, Chris? That should be 2 and 6, 2 and 7. Matter of fact, go to 2 and 6.
Yes, sir.
That Ephesians. Listen.
And cum us up with him, even seated us with him.
And raised us up with him. Guess what happened after Dawood's son died? He got it from the ground. We don't have time to go there. But if you keep reading down, guess what happened? Dawood, he was fasting. He was stricken. And you know what happened after the son? They came and told him. Well, first they said, well, if he did all this while the son was still alive,
What are you gonna do?
if he found out the son dead, it might kill him.
That's right.
What are you gonna do when he found out the son dead? But guess what Dawood did when he found out the son was dead? He got up. He washed himself, and he went into the Mashyach. You know what he did? He was giving Tahalim to Yahuah. You know why? He had obtained Khan. He was able to maintain his life. And you know what they told him? They said, well, Dawood, we looked at it. We were like, man, if you were doing all this when he was dead, then we didn't know what you were going to do when he was alive. And he said, guess what? I can go to him, but he can't come back to me.
Right.
I'm trying to live.
That's
I'm
right.
alive.
That's right.
So guess what? We can't keep going back to dead things. We're alive.
That's right.
We can't keep attaching ourselves to the things that led us to death. We have to detach to things that we desire to attach to him.
Yeah.
And that's all through the Ben. Yeah. That's all. It's like Dexter said, it's all about the Ben. You didn't know about the Ben. Where you been, Ben? It's all about him. And come on, finish me up, Chris. Where you at, 2 and 6?
Yes, sir.
2 and 6.
And cum us up with him, even seated us with him in the Shamayim places in the Mashyach Yahushua.
That's how we're going to get back to the Shamayim places.
That he might show in the coming ages the surpassing riches of his chesed in his kindness toward us in the Mashyach Yahushua.
Guess what? If you want to obtain riches, if you want to really obtain something that's of some value, guess what you're going to need to do? You're going to need to attach yourself to that Ben. That Ben is the one that's going to attach us back to the Father. And through him, we can take on life. And the moot that we should have so rightfully been deserving of, and we should have so justifiably received, we can escape. And we can obtain Kai instead of moot. Don't you die. Stay alive.
Yes,
Ahabi, that's my time.
Yes, sir.
Off the boot to you.
You listening to Dr. Evie.